Hello, my name is Isaac Billingsley, and I am here today to go ahead and give you a speech about the benefits of weightlifting. All right, as today is March 1st, 2026. All right, so the main purpose of this is to show you the benefits of weightlifting, to encourage the audience to start weightlifting and strength training as a regular part of their week. Um, Also, is to motivate the audience to commit to strength training at least 2 times a week and boost their health, strength, and overall well-being. Central idea is basically weightlifting is safe and practical habit that enhances life and supports lasting health um, and builds confidence. So everyone should make it a consistent part of their routine. All right. So here's my introduction. All right. How many times a week have you lifted something such as groceries, backpacks, a laundry basket, or even just your own um, out of a chair? Now imagine those things that you do every day. You can do better, faster, quicker, or even in a safer way. Well, basically, it's like this. Today, I'll be talking about the benefits of weightlifting and why it matters to regular people and not just athletes. Whether you're 20, 40, or even 60, strength affects your energy, independence, and confidence. And I can say that on a personal experience is that my mom, who passed away about 3 years ago, the main thing was it is said in the medical community is that if elderly people make a fall, please forgive me, mom, I'm not calling you old, but if elderly people make a fall and break their bones, 9 times out of 10, within a couple of years after, they'll die because of the healing process. But from our understanding, um, weightlifting can strengthen the muscles, your bone density, um, and even your joints, which is why it's very important. Now, a research major health recommendations, credible medical sources on strength training and health outcomes, and why muscle strength is a part of official activity guidelines. This is from the CDC, um, 2023 CDC and 2025. That's my citation. All right. Now, my central idea is to show you why weightlifting matters. And this is how I explain it. All right. The problem is we don't build strength as people, especially within this day and age. But yet and still, weightlifting can solve this. Um, Within this time period, you have a lot of people um, more so now focus on their health, or even if they don't want to go ahead and use resistant training such as weights, um, they go ahead and lean heavy on other things such as walking, running, or jogging, or whatever else, or food restriction or a higher amount. But at the same time, that's still not going to go ahead and be beneficial of doing the many things that I had just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, such as bone density, uh, strengthening of your muscles, strengthening of your joints. It does a lot of different things that what weightlifting does, right? So my main point is many people are missing a key health habit, which is strength training, and it has real consequences. Strength and muscles are not just for appearance; they are for function and independence. And I believe almost undoubtedly, if my mom had did some strength training, maybe she would still be around at this point in time. And not only her, but just a lot of other people in general would have way more functioning lives than being injured and constantly hurt, or having slower recovery, because even as you age, you recover slower. But if you take care of yourself, it's more in a mode of, if you lose it, if you don't use it, you lose it type of situation. And I do this on a regular basis. I think I work out like 5 to 6 times a week, and it in a certain way, I have deflected a lot of different stereotypical things that I was told that will happen as you age. And I've avoided a lot of those things because I have a regular regimen of doing this. All right, forging strength can mean missing out on protection against serious health issues, which I just mentioned, right? All right, my support materials is basically studies show muscle strengthening activities are linked to lower risk of death and several chronic illnesses. This is from MoMA, ETAL 2022. Um, Basically, it was said. Wait a minute, I'll read this other thing first. Another review found that resistance training helped the risk of dying from any cause compared to not doing it. So this is from Shailendra, ETAL 2022. Um, the thing is, they just basically reiterated what I just mentioned. Um, Strength training can help you in so many different ways and help you get rid of so many different illnesses. It is it's not even funny. But I think the problem within this is that we all have this thought pattern that if you're strictly doing strength training, you will turn into something like this, right? This is my Lex Luger doll. This is from the 90s of the WWE or WCW, depending on where he was at that point in time. And the point is, people are afraid of looking like an anatomy chart. And that's not what strength training is completely about. It can build muscle, it can, but at the same time, um, to get to these extremes, you have to go ahead and take certain type of supplements that are pres- mainly prescribed. You would want to be prescribed by a doctor, um, but we will not talk about that. Um, Research shows that that resistance training or weightlifting can help improve your mental health, and also including reducing of depression and anxiety. And the main thing is, it gives endorphins. It helps you feel better as a person, and in throughout life. I even heard, and please forgive me for using him as an example, but I heard or read in a Muscle and Fitness magazine um, article by Vince McMahon, and he Vince McMahon is or was the owner of the WWE, and he basically was like saying that when you weightlift or work out, you do everything better. You live better, breathe better, work better, or bedroom stuff better. All these particular things have many different components that can really help improve your life. What also, which hasn't been um, said within this research, is stretching. Stretching is very important also, because you can build your muscles as much as possible, but if you do not go ahead and stretch wisely, um, that could lead to injury, tearings of muscle, which you do not want, because that's a long, long recovery deal, and you lose probably a good portion of your gains just trying to recover from such an injury. And so I don't know, but the other side of this is usually dealing with, is weightlifting dangerous? and most come with from improper form or trying too much too quickly. And this is what is usually called ego lifting. When a person is ego lifting, they see someone on television or one of their friends basically doing a particular weight that they have not um, been educated on or basically took the time to build up to that. And when you do ego lifting, it will really mess up your body and your system, your muscles and everything like that. And that's how injuries happen. It has to be low, slow and controlled, or um, just basically controlled. I mean, you could do fast reps or whatever else. Repetitions is mainly what a person would take a dumbbell and then curl it, and they would call it a rep. But basically, if you do that on a regular, on a constant basis, that's how you build your muscles. But if you do not stretch them, I'm telling you this, you will develop injuries that is horrible. Because I personally, before I go to the gym, I always go ahead and do about 20 minutes of yoga. And I think that has helped me throughout years, and it's helped me to um, do 23 years of military service. And I have conquered a lot of stuff within my lifetime because of this particular regimen that I had mentioned between of weightlifting and doing yoga, right? So let's see, building strength leads to greater independence, confidence, and protection. Um, that in certain ways can be true. I have, uh, you know, protection wise, I know I had less bullies after I worked out more often. It gives me better confidence. It helps me to do things a lot easier and better. Just as it was mentioned earlier within this, public sources highlight physical activity as essential for keeping function, lower risk as we age. And that's the CDC in 2025. Um, it is so much of a almost a fountain of youth, as I like to go ahead and say, um, lifting weights. So if you remember anything within this speech, it is basically strength training is not just a gym thing, it's a life thing. And it don't have to be just for athletes. It can be for everyday people to go ahead and get through life in a way better way. And I basically explained the reason why skipping strength training can be a real problem because as we age, if we do not take this seriously, it can be very detrimental to our health. Um, the recommended the recommended routine for doing weightlifting is to commit to at least 2 days per week, and for the next 4 weeks, and put it on the calendar and start doing basic movement, light resistance, and gradual progress. The main thing is this: it can be by doing weightlifting, you take the time, study it, and go slow with the process of it. It could be a very resourceful thing within your life. I personally know for sure that, um, as I said before, I wouldn't have gotten through my years in the military without it. And this is why, in certain instances, I am the age that I am. A lot of people don't believe it because of the dedication that I have with the gym. It's a lot of components that goes with this, but also I'm just basically talking about weightlifting at this point in time. That's my conclusion. Hopefully it was educational. Um, I know I had other things on here, and I had motivational stuff as for as for one object that I use, but also um, the main reason why some of us do it is because of women And the thing of it is, that's not being sexist. That's just basically a cool thing. I mean, every one of us has to have our own personal motivation, which will help you to be dedicated to your program and what you're trying to do in life, or especially within the gym, and then you can translate into the life that you lead. I am Isaac Billingsley, and hopefully you enjoyed my presentation. You have a good night.